Wagner leader Yevgeny Prigozhin, who shook the world agenda deeply in June, is again at the top of the list of hot topics today. However, the reason why Yevgeny Prigozhin is on the agenda today is not that he started an uprising against Russia.
And many people are saying that Prigozhin and his 9 fellow military were dead by a plane crash in Moscow, where we still don't understand why that plane was crashed and who was the cause of it, even whether it was intentionally someone fired down the plane of Prigozhin or it was like just a normal plane crash. No one knows still yet, but the Western media is still emphasizing to we that the Prigozhin death is just like Vladimir Putin have revenge on Prigozhin because of the crime that Prigozhin have made in June earlier 2023, that Prigozhin was threatening Vladimir Putin, and Prigozhin knows that he must face the consequence, and a lot of the people are saying that this is the consequence of what Prigozhin have made in June by threatening Vladimir Putin. So this is what the Western media have been emphasizing, that the Wagner group leader Prigozhin was in a plane crash, and that was caused by Vladimir Putin because he tried to revenge back on him. But my peoples, I want you to watch this video. Tuesday, 22 of August, the Wagner group leader Prigozhin was living in Niger, making a video out there and speaking out. But let's watch the video first before we normally enter into a program to emphasize more on this.
It was seen in a video that Prigozhin's private jet fell from the sky in the Bologovsky district of the Tver region near Moscow. The private jet exploded in the air. Burning debris was seen in an area. Witnesses to the accident heard a loud explosion before realizing that the jet had fallen from the sky. Flight tracking.
As we all watched that video and believing that that was the Prigozhin, that was the man behind Wagner Group as the Wagner Group military leader. And now people are saying that he is among people who are in that plane. But let's emphasize something here. That plane was very, very, very crashed. And the plane was born. And people who were in that plane, when the plane crashes, the people couldn't be recognized because nobody will be able to recognize them due to the fire burning of their body. The fire have burned the dead bodies so much, and you couldn't recognize if Prigozhin is among the people who are dead. But this is what the Western media is emphasizing, that Prigozhin is dead, is among people living in that plane, because that is a plane of Prigozhin, and that means Prigozhin is among and the 9 other militaries. Well, people says Putin is behind this. This is my own take on this. I will not say Prigozhin is dead because I don't believe in Western media. But that's what the Western media is emphasizing, that Prigozhin is dead. But I don't believe that Prigozhin is still dead. I don't still believe it. And I can't believe it till I can declare sources. But for my own research, I don't believe that Prigozhin is dead. But even if Prigozhin is dead, and even if Vladimir Putin was the cause of it, I will not blame Vladimir Putin of doing that. Do you know why? June earlier 2023, Prigozhin make a threatening and make a big shame, put a big shame on Vladimir Putin's face, June 2023, by marching over Moscow. Well, that was a big shame on Vladimir Putin's face, and that was a big disgrace and embarrassment on Vladimir Putin. And this is why many people are pointing finger on Vladimir Putin, that Vladimir Putin take more patience to look into Prigozhin's matter. Why did Vladimir Putin take so many months of patience? A man who is most dangerous as Vladimir Putin take patience to look Prigozhin to walk away like that. He have his own plans. That was this Wednesday incident, 23 of August, as the plane crashes in Moscow, 25 miles away. But we are here. Many people are emphasizing on Prigozhin's death, that Prigozhin was killed by Vladimir Putin, and Prigozhin is a man who is a threat to Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is seeing Prigozhin as a threat. So how do Prigozhin will think like he can go to Russia by doing that affect putting that big same of effect on Vladimir Putin's face on earlier June 2023 by trying to march over Moscow. And that is a threatening to Vladimir Putin, as we all see. So, but the West is emphasizing that Prigozhin is dead. And still, Russian militaries have not came to an conclusion that Prigozhin is finally dead, and they are not coming into this conclusion that the plane of Prigozhin that was fired down by Russia. I don't still believe in this. We are in a war, and we are in the center and in the middle of a war where we can't know who fired down. Even if that plane of Prigozhin was fired down, we can't know who fired down the Prigozhin plane. Nobody knows who fired, even if it was fired. But still, we don't even know if the plane was fired. I don't know. And I believe the Russian military authorities have done their own research, and still they don't find out that if the plane was shot down or the plane was just a normal crash. No one knows. But just the Western media want to frame Vladimir Putin with a bad name and coming up with this system. If you go to all the Western medias right now, what are they emphasizing to you? What are they describing? They are describing the plane crash as Vladimir Putin was the one shot it down. But still, it's not clear. There is no evidence that will show you that that plane of Prigozhin that was crashed, it was crashed because it was shot down. No one can emphasize on that, and we don't still have clear evidence on that. I want people to believe that, because there are so many fake news on Western media. Western media is trying to pay back on Vladimir Putin, even if Vladimir Putin doesn't fire down this plane of Prigozhin. They are going to put all the blame on Vladimir Putin. You see where this thing is going? You need to be mindful, my people. Don't be fooled by Western media. I am not fooled by Western media because I do my own investigation. And due to my own investigation, for what I am seeing here, it's like a conspiracy against Vladimir Putin. If I am not missing the point, I need to be very careful. And one need to be very careful by bringing out some news that you don't know about and you don't have clear evidence on it. And the West don't have clear evidence on this, that Vladimir Putin was the one who fired down. Because Vladimir Putin was having a beef with Prigozhin doesn't mean when the plane of Prigozhin was crashed, doesn't mean that Vladimir Putin was the one who fired down the plane. Still, there is no evidence that the plane was even fired down. There is no clear evidence that Prigozhin plane that was crashed was fired down. And no one knows. Even if there is an evidence that it was fired down, no one knows whether Vladimir Putin or even the West by themselves or even America who fired down Prigozhin plane. No one knows. No one knows. You know, it can happen because we are in the middle of war. Prigozhin plane crash, it could be West have fired down the Prigozhin plane and put all the blame on Vladimir Putin because Prigozhin was having a beef with Vladimir Putin. And Vladimir Putin was very angry with Prigozhin due to his earlier behavior on June 2023. And that is making the West now to take an avenge. The West also is trying to revenge on Vladimir Putin to make sure that the whole world see Vladimir Putin as a bad person, or the whole world to see Vladimir Putin as a criminal or as a terrorist. But my people, be very, very careful. Still, no one knows if Prigozhin is dead, number one. Number two, no one knows if Prigozhin is in that plane that was crashed. Number three, no one knows if that plane that was crashed was shot down. Number four, no one knows even if that plane was shot down by Vladimir Putin. No one knows. This is unclear. We are unclear on this, but the West is always putting the blame on Vladimir Putin because Prigozhin have a beef with Vladimir Putin, and now the West is trying to revenge it this way, that to put all bad did in Russia, to put the blame on Vladimir Putin. Since this incident happened in Russia is Russian territory, so they are going to put all the blame on Vladimir Putin But one thing I will tell you, there's a strategy working here since we are in the middle of a war where we don't know where we are going and we don't know where we are coming from. The West is on fire and the West is not living good. So the Westerners are always emphasizing that Prigozhin plane was crashed because it was fired down by Vladimir Putin. That's what they were saying. None of them are emphasizing, none of them are telling you that they don't have clear evidence if that plane was even shot down by a missile or by any military weapon. But it could be a normal crash because no one still have evidence that this plane was shot down. And no one still have clear evidence that Prigozhin was in that plane. No one knows. So still we are in darkness. We didn't know if Prigozhin was dead or if Prigozhin was living. So my peoples, take your time and don't run into things and don't rush into things and don't judge things that you don't know. And don't believe in the Western media by judging the world, because the Western media is here to confuse you and see you as a human robot. They use you. They use your brain to change your mentality. The Western media is created to change our mentalities. But we still believe in this, that no one knows if Prigozhin is in that plane, and no one knows if that plane was shot down by a military weapon. Even if it was shot down by a military weapon, no one knows if it was shot down by Vladimir Putin. That is the information that I gathered here. And that is what the Western media is refusing to tell you, that they didn't have a clear evidence if that plane was a normal crash or was shot down by a military weapon. Even if it was a shot down by a military weapon, they are not ready to tell you that they don't have clear evidence on this, that plane, Prigozhin plane that was shot down by Vladimir Putin. They are not ready to tell you that they don't have clear evidence. Because one, they have to do a DNA test on the bodies to know if Prigozhin is among the dead peoples. Still, they don't have clear evidence if Prigozhin is even clearly dead. No one knows. So, we are still working on towards, Russian militaries are still doing their investigation to make sure that they find out the good results if Prigozhin was in that or among the dead bodies and why the plane was shut down. Still, the world is in darkness and we are still finding out. Thank you, my people, for watching.